What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the post-mortem of the game where we have just drew 0-0 at Anfield, and you've already got Jurgen Klopp throwing his toys at the pram, Virgil van Dijk trying to slag us off a little bit, but ultimately, on any given year, season, day, whatever you want to call it, when you go there and get a point, you'd probably take it. You know, the performance wasn't glittered. I'm sure there's a lot of individual things to kind of talk about, a few interesting incidents towards the end of the game. But I think Eric Ten Hag and I think the players will definitely take that result. And I think most of us before the game, when we were speaking about it, would have as well. So let's just start off with Chiver, because we was on the pre-match build-up, weren't we, discussing it? And he was slightly fearful. What was the most impressive? Well, I say impressive. I don't want to use that word because it wasn't the best performance. But what was interesting to you, let's say, about this game?
Yeah, that was a 0-0 win. Just
I laughed my head off when you put that in the chat, by the way. I was like, that is fucking hilarious. We won that draw. We won it.
Yeah, but also, like I said in the chat, I was impressed with the defense, particularly Varane and Evans. That was an experienced defense, right? And they could have been beat for pace. They could have been beat with athleticism, but it was the decision making and their timing as well was on point the whole time. And I think they really helped to frustrate Liverpool in terms of their attacks. And then, as the game goes longer, you can't get a goal, the crowd starts to get on you and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was very happy with Varane and Evans. Like, at Anfield, I would have never expected Evans, especially to deal with it the way he did. And he made a lot of experienced decisions. The pass, I know we'll talk about this, but the pass that Kobe Mainoo makes to
amazing.
Garnacho, it actually starts from Varane at the back. So he makes the right choice in terms of feeding it to, I can't remember who it was, who then gave it to Mainoo. So yeah, defense was really good. I mean, obviously the midfield was non-existent. There was no cohesion. Well, let me just say there was no cohesion in the midfield. So yeah, obviously it wasn't that good. But there's a lot to take from this in terms of performances in the defense. And like I said in the chat, I can see glimpses of what the manager is trying to do, but yeah, it's going to take ages.
Yeah, I really, really want to praise certain individuals, but before I get onto any of them, Dan, is it weird that I feel guilty for being happy about a draw? Is it because I have this kind of conflicting feeling that I'm happy we're going away with 0-0 draw, but in terms of attack and what we offered, it wasn't very much, was it?
No, man, you cannot feel guilty for this performance at this moment because we have been awful. we all have been expecting like 5-0 or something like more than that. And more than the draw, it's could be a lifesaver for Eric Ten Hag also, because if we would have lost it badly, then Ten Hag would be on the lines to be sacked. The pressure would be on Ten Hag. But always this game would have not been an easy game for us. But the possession says it all. 69% for Liverpool, and those 69% of possession were in our half. So, and the defense actually has stood up, and in the last two games we have seen that defense have been on the spot. I hardly seen our defense line making any errors today.
And it was solid today. It was absolutely solid.
So that's what Varane brings into the team, and God knows why he was sidelined by Ten Hag, maybe some personal reasons. So that's why I wanted Varane to come into that back line, regardless of whatever problem he has with Ten Hag, just sort it out and just bring in the team. We now need all our experienced players on the pitch, even though we have so many players injured. The captain materials are all injured, like in Casemiro, Eriksen. So then at least those players you have in a good health can play. And when you see that problem is with, between the manager and the Varane situations, and that really hope it is sorted now, because we need Varane more than ever now, because with all the centre backs are out of, God knows when they will come back. And but keys, very few. I mean, maybe you can name them couple of players who have put in a really great performance today from United sides, but forwards were non-existent. But defense, you have to really praise them. And I never expected this to be a dominating game from United. I always knew that we'll be facing a lot of attacks from Liverpool. But yeah, it's a big win.
I don't know what's triggered Roy Keane, Sam, but this.
I've just seen it. I've just seen it. Yeah.
He needs to remember about Van Dijk. He said he needs to remember Liverpool have only won one title in 30 years. So I don't know what's provoked him to kind of say that. But
the comment from Van Dijk was, there was only one team trying to win the game. Unfortunately, it did not happen. We were superior in all aspects. They were hoping to hurt us on the counter, and they're buzzing with a point. So that was the Van Dijk comment.
You can obviously elaborate on this, but do they expect a team like that, when you look at our starting 11 today, do they expect us to go toe-to-toe, create shitloads of chances? Like, it was never going to happen with the team we put out, was it?
No. I was a bit worried at the beginning because we were playing out from the back, and I think against Liverpool, that's the worst idea in the world. Like, because they're going to press the life out of you, and we haven't got the quality. Varane aside, maybe, like, he's capable of it, but you haven't got Alessandro. Dalot is all right on the turn and stuff like that. So playing out from the back, I was just like, oh my God, we're just inviting pressure here. But for the most part, seemed to deal with it. Like, there wasn't many clear-cut chances from Liverpool, unless I'm misremembering. There's a couple of shots.
Van Dijk header.
Yeah, but they were like straight at Onana. There was nothing too like tricky or anything like that. So for the most part, I think we dealt with it. What annoys me is we could have won that game. Like, Liverpool were bad.
The Højlund chance in particular.
Højlund, the Garnacho one with the Kobe pass. He just gets it taken off his foot by is it Trent that just takes it off his foot?
Yeah, right when Rashford squares it as well for Højlund.
Another one. There was another one where Anthony comes in, he puts it across, and Scott McTominay just stops and lets the ball go across him. So there was like good thing. Man. We could have. Yeah, we'll talk about him. So we could have won that game, and say we come up 1-0 win or something like that, I'm coming on to this singing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, with the team we've got and the shit we've been doing the last couple of weeks, to come away with a 0-0 draw. First time Liverpool haven't scored at Anfield this year, in this calendar year. First time. Mm-hmm. So to do that, to keep them out, and then have opportunities on the break, which, had we had quality and had we had some sort of confidence, maybe we put them away on another day. So that's what annoys me. The other bit that annoys me is we could have won that game. Like, it wasn't an absolute smashing. Yes, they had the most possession. Yes, they probably created more opportunities. And yes, we were poor in the midfield and the attack. But we were still in that game. We definitely could have won that game.
Yeah. There must be loads of little digs going on here, because Andre Onana got asked about the Anfield atmosphere. He says, I felt nothing. That's literally
Neville said it. Neville said it as well, didn't he?
He was like, dead. It was, bizarre, very bizarre. Chivi, was you surprised by that, and surprised by how bad Liverpool were as well? Because they weren't on it today, was there?
No, but I've criticised this team lots of times over the season, but I will have to say that our defense was actually what frustrated them, to be fair. And yeah, they weren't amazing, they weren't flying or anything, but I think defensively, and when I say defensively, I'm actually just referring to Varane and Evans in particular. Mm-hmm. Defensively, I think we frustrated them, and that kind of plays on you. So even if you come in ready, I mean, it was the kind of game where if they scored in the first 15, then they would have had an amazing performance. But because of the frustrations of not letting them score, and to also pick up on the Onana thing as well, he was talking tough before the game. You know, when he was saying something like, you know, he was the best goalkeeper in the world before, So he put his mouth where his money was, and had a good game, and he has earned the right to say he didn't feel anything.
Yeah, agreed. We are going to dive into the comments in a second. Someone was mentioning at the start that I weren't here, so I just want to. I was running late. I just want to apologise to absolutely nobody. He does what he wants. No, but on a serious note, there was an incident, Dan, towards the end of the game with Diego Dalot where he gets sent off. What were your thoughts on that? Because I was just pulling my fucking hair out at that. Then Sam, you're on mute, by the way. But go on, Dan.
Yeah, that's terrible. Actually, I'm not sure how quickly that referee that was a follow-up reaction of Diego Dalot with the first throw of his hand and then the second throw, and he just gave 2 yellow cards for that one. That's actually terrible, and that just shows clearly like how much referees are against Manchester United, and they don't want us to have a good game or just to have an happy ending at least for one game. And
it's like you wanted to just mix it up, innit? It was like, oh, well, it's been a bit stale there, so yeah, fuck it, send a player off, last few minutes, anything can happen.
Did you notice with referee decisions, we're always the first for any sort of rule, like, made-up stuff. Yeah. Like, there was the rule, what was the one? The offside, what did they call it? I can't remember what it was. There was a thing of interpretive offside. What?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
What was it, Dan?
Subjective offside.
Subjective offside. Do you remember that? Yeah. United. So what the fuck is subjective offside? What the hell does that mean? I think we were the only team to have subjective offside against us, and it's not happened since. And then when have you seen a player be done for dissent twice in the same thing he's already dissenting for? Like, that's one dissent. The whole thing is one dissent. You don't give 2 yellows for that. Like, that's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous, that.
Yeah. Dan, we mentioned, didn't we, in the preview that when I said VAR or red card, we said straight away, yeah, there's going to be something. You can't, like, if it's a Liverpool United game, there's always going to be one incident in there.
Yeah, I think the tension was already building up with the tackles from Amrabat and then Luke Shaw. So definitely I was thinking like there is one red card in that, but I never expected like it has to be happen like that without no reasons. But on side of Dalot also, I would criticize him a bit because he should have controlled himself, because he has come back from a very good tackle. He stole the ball from Salah, it was, I guess, and then he should control his emotions at least. At least he should have thrown his arm at least once, not twice. That gave him a reason for the referee to do that. But definitely it has to get investigated, and a referee should be punished for these kind of things. And but yeah, VARs, whenever we have not been in favorable of we have not got any favored decisions when it comes to VAR, and it has affecting a lot in many games. It has been like, and whenever a decision goes against us, our total confidence of the teams comes down, and that has affected the game really in many situations, many cases. But don't know why these are not getting investigated. But let's hope if that is getting investigated, but I don't think so it will get.
I think if you look back at the season as well, the amount of decisions that have gone against us, you could probably handpick double figures. It's been outrageous. Sam, how do you think the youngsters got on today? As a collective, Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, Højlund, a bit.
I thought Kobbie Mainoo was immense. Probably our best midfielder by a long shot. Like, really composed, scanning, awareness of the game, positioning. Absolutely, really, really good. I thought he did excellent, especially when I'm sure we'll get on to Scott McTominay. When you have to play with Scott McTominay, it's a bit of a hindrance. So I thought he did extremely well, and that pass, by the way, to Garnacho was something of beauty, man. Like, there's only one other person who's capable of that is Bruno, and Bruno doesn't do it consistently enough. So if he can bring more of that, we've got a good one there. I thought he was excellent. Garnacho, he tried, man. Like, he did. He put effort in. He tried, but I just think physical wise, he was outmatched by that. Yeah,
I think the full front line did. To be honest,
the Liverpool defenders are big lads, like the big lads. So he struggled a lot. He got pushed off the ball quite a bit and didn't really get any opportunities. Højlund, I've said it a million times. We don't play to his strengths, do we? Like, he's a guy who likes to run in behind. He's got pace. He's got being able to bring other people together, and you've got two of the most selfish forwards next to him in Anthony and Garnacho, and then Rashford's the other one. Don't play together, so it's a bit frustrating with Højlund at the minute. But it's a graveyard shift when you're a striker for Manchester United at the minute, and that's unfortunate. But for the most part, fine. But obviously Mainoo stands up head and shoulders above the rest of them.
I want to talk about Højlund with you in a sec, Chevy. I'm just going to read out a couple of comments because there's quite a lot. A bit of back and forth about me not being here. I'll skip past that. Imagine if we had nicked one at the end. Wow, great effort by all the lads. I'm happy. Great show, lads. Oh, thank you very much. Simon says no, because if we're being honest, at the moment in that time United's level, I also feel it was a fair result having watched the full contest. I think chance-wise, I don't know if you should agree, we probably had as good chances, if not better chances, to win the game in that respect. Sam saying once that... Go on.
Liverpool were doing weird shit towards the end. Like, they were just knocking hopeful balls into the box or shooting from weird areas. Like, I don't understand what
they didn't look
doing.
Great.
They were doing some weird stuff.
Was not on it. Yeah, I think Gary Neville just said it spot on there. He thought it was an overconfidence from Liverpool. And I think the fans as well. I think the fans were expecting a bit of a cook-up and they just didn't provide it. And maybe that's why it was silent. Shah Sam saying, once I saw the lineup, I was confident of a positive result. I think that's interesting because a lot of people were the opposite. Jay McGogan, Liverpool were poor, to be fair. Liverpool were there for the taking, in my opinion. We could have also lost the game quite easily as well. Don't feel like we were lucky to only get a point. I think they're all very valid points. Lou, as always, positive, saying Ten Hag out. Doesn't surprise me one bit, but I'm not biting. I don't care who comes out of the team. Mainu has to start every game possible. How high do you think his ceiling is, Chive?
Really high. He's setting a standard now. Because one thing about youngsters and how I rate them is consistency. And we're seeing a consistent performance from him every time we see him. Even when he's not absolutely great because of the people around him. What impresses me is his composure, his decision-making, and his marking. Like, there were lots of times when Slobosai was on, where he was literally running along. Basically, he was making Slobosai not an option for the pass, like in the first half. Lots of times when he did that. So yeah, it's really good. And yeah, hopefully he doesn't feel too much pressure. He feels like he can handle it, though, to be honest.
So composed. I think his coach said that about him. Like, he never gets too hot-headed or never gets too,
he feels like he can take it. So yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty high ceiling. He's setting a really high standard now, and every time it's like we would always need to see some kind of performance from him. But you were going to ask me about Højlund.
Yes, Højlund is. Yeah, feel free to expand on that.
Yeah. What about Højlund? Were you?
No, just for me personally, I don't want to be too harsh on him because he's young and I get the kind of, lack of service, etc. But just even little things like holding up the ball at certain times, I felt he struggled to bring us into the attack.
I can see
runs,
that.
Sometimes I'm a little bit questioning it. I don't know, but he's raw in here, so.
Yeah, I can see that, and he's raw. But then one thing, and I've heard people, a few times over the past couple of games that people have kind of said, and I get it. But I think if you see every time that Højlund had the ball, he was double or triple teamed lots of times. His raw talent is not the finished article, so not all the time will you be able to control the ball. But I've seen enough from him to believe in him to the point where if we have really good wingers or at least players around him, or even if like a De Bruyne sort of player, right, that could find him literally, because I want to see my strikers at the end of the pass.
Yes,
I'm not going to see them in the build-up. For me, I'm old school, so I don't know how it works now, but I want to see the striker at the end. Just the rest of the team can deal with the build-up. He just has to spot the runs, and he's made really intelligent runs and things like that. But then you're only as good as the people around you, to be honest. In a lot of situations, as Scott McTominay did not help.
Oh, that's it, bro. I'm not even spoken about him yet, but
he didn't help. But I see what you're saying. I'll just say one more thing very quickly. We've said before that, at least I've said that I'd like to see Højlund and Martial play, and I understand that he likes to play just one of them.
Yeah.
But then if you see what City are doing with
Alvarez
and Haaland, like, it can work. You can play both your strikers and be a lot more effective, because I believe that Martial can offer a lot more in terms of assisting the striker from the left hand side than Marcus Rashford would.
But are you talking like what, play him as a 2 or play Martial just somewhere in that front line so they can?
Just play him off the left.
Yeah, I said it on the show the other day about Sancho. The fact that it's annoying that Sancho's out because I feel like he's the one guy that could actually supply Højlund and link play with him. But obviously, for other reasons, he's not available at the moment. There was a lot of talk, weren't there, Dan, in the past couple of weeks about are these players playing for the manager, or are they throwing him under a bus again, or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But when you watch a performance like that, it doesn't seem like it, does it?
Yeah, it seems like the way they are playing now, I mean, not just this game, but considering all the games, it feels like Ten Hag is trying to do something, and the players on whom he's trying to do are not well enough or fit enough for his gameplay. And we have seen this week in and week out that the Ten Hag it seems like Ten Hag wants to play like what he used to make the Ajax team play, but he's trying the same thing here with this team. but the players are not capable enough. And that Ajax team had so many intelligent players. Probably like all the 11 players were intelligent, but in our case it is not the same. And we have like 3 or 4 players, four intelligent players. Rest of all them are like good runners or having high stamina and to just run around here and there. And McTominay is one of that. And but at this point, uh, I don't think Ten Hag is playing on the players' strength rather than trying to bring the players to a level. But he's trying that with the wrong set of players. I don't think these players who have been here for the past 6-7 years are not capable enough to play the way Ten Hag wants to play in this game. And I don't know where it's gonna end, because here one manager is there who wants to bring in his idea, and here are the players who are not capable enough, and this never going to gel in. So I'm not sure what he'll be going to do in coming summer, whether he has to go for different set of players. But now seems like the players he has got in also are not able to cope up with what he's trying to do in the team. But like just to add one point here with the Højlund thing, like I was talking to Sam also regarding this. I've seen Højlund. I understand like the forwards are not good enough, but I've seen him whenever he receives the ball, he uses his body and just gets the ball and passes to the other players. And in some cases, I was unable to see that, but that could be a like overall team confidence was not there at that level. But also Wenger has to play a big part in Højlund's growth, because you see when Anthony was there till the 80th minute, nothing happened, and when Pellistri came in, you could see that triangular passes with Højlund, and Højlund was coming towards the right wing and receives the ball, and then Pellistri goes to the on the sidelines, and then that triangular passes created a couple of chances at the end of the game, and that was missing there. And that's what I think. That's what Ten Hag is trying to build in the team, but with the wrong set of players. With the players like McTominay, he will never achieve that.
I think selection now, the next couple of weeks, is going to be interesting who we pick, Sam, because today obviously went with Mainu and Amrabat for the first time. We've seen it. He has to go with that now, doesn't he? Mainu, Amrabat, and Bruno.
Well, Casemiro's out till after Christmas, isn't he? So he's not coming back in. So you'd think Bruno comes back into the team when he's back. Like, you'd have to assume, because he's the captain and he plays every game. So then it's a question: does Mainu drop or does Amrabat drop? Because he's going to keep playing Scott McTominay. Let's face it. Like, I know we all hate it. We don't like it. We don't like it. But he's going to do it. And we've just got to accept it, because that's what he's going to do. And, you know, I said to Dan before you got on, the excuses now is going to be Scott McTominay led United to a 0-0 draw at Liverpool. So that's going to be the thing. This is why he's important to the team. And that's the excuse he's going to use next week. Like, that's why McTominay gets. So you're either going to lose Amrabat or you're going to lose Mainu. And you're going to see the lack of control in the midfield. Is it West Ham we've got?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to see that lack of control against West Ham. And that's what's going to happen, because you're going to play, instead of playing Mainu, Amrabat and Bruno, you're going to play Mainu or Amrabat, McTominay and Bruno. So that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. For all these kind of Liverpool fans who are saying United celebrating a draw, blah, 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 just to remind you lot, yeah, what players we currently have out, yeah. Maguire, Casemiro, Malacia, Martinez, Eriksen, Fernandes, Martial, Sancho, Ahmad. So, excuse me, if they had Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, all these guys out, and they went to a team who was top of the league, by the way, at the time, or just before I think Arsenal played, then of course you'd be kind of happy getting a draw there, because with the team that we put out, we should be getting battered. Also, in my opinion, anyway.
Mount, Eriksen, add to that list as well, who are not there. And then you look at the way they're treating Newcastle. They're like, oh, Newcastle great because of all the injuries. And Newcastle had a lot of injuries. Like they had 2 more drop yesterday as well. But they're treating them like, oh, aren't they doing well? Aren't they hard done by? Nobody mentions United's injuries. Like, nobody gives a shit. Everybody's just like, oh, United are shite. It's like, yeah, because we're missing like 20 players. Like, it's ridiculous.
City form also. Like, you see, like, a couple of players are out and they see them struggling.
Yeah, they never win a game without Rodri. If Rodri's not available, they don't win. It's very, very rare. And we've, so many players missing. I don't want to start, get the violin out, but I'm just saying, it's, you know, there's a bit of reason into it. Right, do you want to give us your man of the match then? We'll start with you, Chive, for today.
Varane.
Yeah,
agreed. I agree.
Yeah, man of the match, because I know McTominay had the armband, but that guy was a leader.
Yes.
There were lots of times the camera cut to him, and you could see him encouraging the players. When there was, and especially in the first half when we're giving away all them corners, like he was calming everybody down. You could see him calming people down because like the corner, I think they had like 7 corners in the first like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I remember seeing that 7-0, and it scarred me. I thought like, 7-0. I thought, no. It's just corners.
Triggering. I'm triggered.
Yeah, I really was.
So I think he was a leader, and that's kind of like what we've lacked at the back. So even though Maguire's been brilliant, but as far as leadership, we lacked that a lot, and he showed that today. So yeah, he's my man of the match.
I forgot how much we missed him, to be honest. Like the past couple of games, to have that calmness. The in-box defending, he's the best at the club. Honestly. He is. His focus, concentration, and defending inside that 18-yard box is better than anyone we've got at the club. So yeah, it's really nice to have him back, and hopefully now that relationship has been mended and he can stay fit. Because we're gonna fucking need him. Dan, would you agree with that assessment, or are you going for someone else?
Yeah, I would like to keep Varane and Mino in the same, like maybe Mino a little bit lower, but yeah, I'll go with Varane as well. I was thinking like Varane would have been the captain for this game. I would have expected that, but then again,
yeah, Evans as well. I think definitely deserves a shout. I thought he was good. I mean, Varane will get the headlines, of course, but I think him alongside him was just as kind of capable.
It was an experienced performance, like partnership. Like there was so much experience.
Well, you kind of expect it, wouldn't you, for a 35-year-old and how old was Varane? 30, 31?
Yeah, 65 years.
Oh, yeah, got a lot of experience there.
Seems like Arnold is getting the man of the match. How
Trent?
like yeah.
Oh, Arnold. Oh, right, okay.
I mean, he's. Yeah, Sam.
Yeah, I agree. Varane gets it for me. Absolutely immense, solid, and yeah, I hope he stays in the team because, like you said, we're going to need him. And who picked the man of the match? The referee, because he was clearly trying to do everything for United to fucking not have it. So did he pick Trent? Did he?
It was annoying at times. Yeah, and what's just the final kind of thoughts? What's the feeling now going into these next set of games? Is there any kind of more positivity, any more negativity? How are we feeling now? What headspace are we at?
I'm indifferent. Like, nothing's changed. I'm happy with the performance.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Not the performance. I'm happy with the defense and the clean sheet and that. And I'm just happy we didn't lose.
Yeah.
But as far as going forward, like,
work needs to be done.
Yeah. I'm still just,
If you play that midfield of Amrabat / Mainu, McTominay and Bruno, you're not going to control games. Like it's not going to happen, and you're just going to get outworked and just cut open every single game unless you're playing like Burnley or Sheffield United or something. So until Ten Hag learns that and changes that, I don't expect to see anything different against West Ham or any other results.
Yeah, Nick, who was your man of the match?
I'd probably go for either Evans or Varane, to be honest. I thought they was both really good. But yeah, Raphael Varane, we needed him today because if we didn't have him, obviously Maguire's out, Lissandro's out. I mean, fuck knows, McTominay probably would have. I mean, it would have been a disaster. So yeah, Raphael Varane for sure. Was someone gonna? Yeah.
One of the reasons why our forwards were not at it was because they didn't have the creativity of Bruno in the middle. I mean, whenever McTominay gets the ball, you can't expect anything.
Christ, man.
You cannot even expect for a one-to-one passes or triangle passes. So that could be one of the.
I was crying for Donny van de Beek at one point. Get on that. I was like 70 minutes. Like, just bring someone who's creative or someone who's going to link players. Like, how much worse can you do? Because McTominay did nothing in that game. Like, we'll get the praise as captain and but.
Yeah, there were times when there were openings and some of our central defenders actually made like the wrong decisions. There was once where on the left-hand side where Luke Shaw was on and the ball comes to Amrabat. He could have just played it back to Luke Shaw, but he turns and then goes inside. There's so many times like that where we could have taken the advantage, but then we always went back. And then Anthony, I know he defended well today. Defensively, he was quite good. But there was a chance where Onana plays him in, and he kicks the ball, goes forward, and then just stops, and then lets them recover. And I was just so fucking frustrated. I mean, just go for it. Like, I know for a fact that a player like Ahmad would have just gone.
There's a move he does, which he used to do for Ajax. Like, when I was looking him up, he'll knock the ball round a guy and then try and run round him. And in Ajax, in the Dutch league, he used to beat the man every single time. You can't do that in the Prem, man. Like, it ain't gonna work.
Too much to do.
Exactly.
It's so easy to read.
You know what? It was a thing, right? I don't know if any of you remember this. It's near like where Dalot was playing, so near the right back spot. Yeah, he had the ball near the kind of byline, and he does this. He goes like that, and I'm thinking he's gonna. I literally said to my mate, he's gonna lose this ball here. Straight, I knew it instantly, and he goes to like a big stride, and the Liverpool fan just goes, "Cheers, mate," gets it back, regain possession, and they go again.
I remember that.
I'm like, this fucking guy, man, like,
winding up. We have to stop playing Anthony. Like, he's not gonna, like, he's gonna keep playing him, but we have to, because he just, that right hand side. I'd rather play Polistri. Whatever Ahmad's fit, yeah, I'll put Ahmad there as well. But in a minute,
please.
Just put Polistri there.
Yeah, I would love Anthony to come on like in the 76th minute.
Yeah.
Right. When a defender is tired.
Yeah.
And they can actually put him for pace, and it's, I like to see him come on. Same with like Garnacho. I'd like to see them come on to the game.
McTominay as well. McTominay, when you need a goal, bring him on, crash the box.
We're talking about, like, bring on a 76th minute and blah, blah, and I agree, but he worked against fucking Maldini today. He was against a guy who looks like he works in a Greek restaurant. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is an average defender, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But the average Premier League defender is twice as good as a lower league Eredivisie defender.
Of course,
do you know what I mean?
Course, yeah.
So he can't do the shit he was doing in Ajax. He can't do it here because it's not going to work. Like, it just isn't going to work.
I was waiting for my man at left back to whip out some feta cheese or a gyros. I was just like, it's just.
You remember, Sam? You mentioned about those moves, like when he kicks the ball ahead and tries to cut back. That movement reminded me of Gareth Bale's goal. You remember, against Barcelona?
Gareth Bale is world class. Like, he's a top level player. Anthony's not. He's just not. He's not.
He's one of those guys that looks fast, but he's not as fast as he looks.
Oh. He moves fast, like, moves his shoulders faster than he actually runs. He's like a chicken. He's just like...
None of his skill as well. Like, everybody thinks, is this really skillful Brazilian player? I've never seen once a trick he's done that he's pulled off and it's worked. Not one.
Have you seen...
Not one.
Is it Guardians of the Galaxy where Drax is stood there and he goes, "I'm standing so still you can't see me." I can see you, you fucking idiot. It's like Anthony's trying to be all elusive with his shoulders and his body movement. You're not actually moving. You're just moving your body, mate. Like, anyway, I'm getting carried away here on a little Anthony rant.
78 pace, basically. That's
quite literally.
He's 91, but it's actually.
I'm gonna read you a quote from Eric Ten Hag about Kobe Mainoo just to see us off, okay? He says, "When you are good enough, you are old enough. He proved that, and when he gets used to those games, we will get even more joy from it. With his scanning and speed of action, he can get switches in. He is the player who can really hurt opponents." And I love that. I think it's bang on analysis about Kobe Mainoo. So, congrats to Kobe today. Congrats to Varane, Evans, and a few others as well. We take a point from Anfield, which in the grand scheme of things, I think we all would have taken. So we can go. We can leave it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. I hope Monday isn't too harsh for you lot. And keep an eye out for pros and cons because that'll be dropping tomorrow as well. So take care. Drop us a follow on socials. Subscribe to the channel. Big up to the lads, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Cheers.